late. I'd like to call this meeting to order and have a motion, please. Thank you. Roll call, Mr. Gibbs.
Dr. Carlino?
Here.
Mr. Grau?
Here.
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Dr. Kane?
Here.
Dr. Moser?
Here.
Morella? Ms. Novi? Mr. O'Brien?
Here.
Mr. Palmer?
Here.
Engineer Meir? And Grace Harden.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Davis, can you read the New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law statement?
The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law is enacted to ensure the right of the public with advance notice to attend the meetings of public bodies, which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of the Act, the Montville Township Board of Education approved this meeting date. Notice of the meeting has been posted at the Montville Municipal Building, all Montville Public Schools, the Montville Public Library, Montville Township Board of Education Administrative Office Building, the Montville Public School website, and advertised in the Daily.
Thank you. Grace has named one of your last reports to the Board of Education. The two of you have been wonderful representatives.
Thank you.
The boys baseball team has a record of 13-10, and their senior night was this past Saturday against Jefferson, and they won with a score of 14-0. They have a night game on Saturday, which is a fundraising game to raise money for ALS. The boys lacrosse team played their senior night this past Saturday against Nutley and won with a score of 11-2. Also, senior Graham Jesperson scored his 100th career goal last night against Mount Olive. Girls lacrosse team also played their last home game of the season yesterday, ending their season with a 6-12 record. Last week, junior Claudia Triunfo scored her 100th career goal during a team victory over Caldwell.
Today and tomorrow, the spring track team will be competing at the Morris County Championship meet at Boone High School. Also, recently, two MTHS students, senior Jenny Meyer and freshman Anna George, broke school track records. Jenny actually broke two records in the 800 meter with a time of 1:57 and the 1600 meter with a time of 4 minutes and 23 seconds. Anna broke the girls' 800 meter record with a time of 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Tonight in school, the Palmtonian Food Service held their annual outside barbecue. Students were able to choose from a variety of foods cooked outside on the grills, fruits, and salad. Mrs. Flug and Mr. Mensch will be hosting their annual Raku Play Firing this Friday. The event is for students in the higher level ceramics 2 and 3 classes, and these students will be given the ability to fire their pieces in a different way than the traditional kiln.
Thank you. So are you getting notices now about preparations for graduation and
Yes.
prom? And all that? Yeah. Hard to believe that it's come down to this. Any board member questions or comments? Thank you very
I'd
much.
like to thank you for coming over here. You're very informative. Really
Thank you.
appreciate your report.
Thanks. Dr. Rotar, I know that you have some remarks and then you have some presentations as well.
Yes, absolutely. The first thing I wanted to do is to respectfully ask the board to defer action on item J3, which is the resolution to approve withdrawal of the district from the state health benefits plan. I would request that we defer action on that item until our next meeting on June 7th. It will provide us some additional time for review of that resolution. Secondly, I'm just thrilled to be able to announce that our Cedar Hill and Woodlawn schools were both selected as 2016 National Schools of Character. They will be celebrated on Friday at a ceremony at Rider University. We will have them here in June to be able to honor them. It's just a wonderfully outstanding accomplishment, and we're very, very proud of the hard work that went into that. So we look forward to honoring them in public.
Renee, just to put it in perspective, how many schools in the state were honored and how many schools in the country?
There are 67 in the country. I want to say 7, I think, in New Jersey. It's relatively
A total of 67 in the whole country.
Yes, yes.
That's remarkable.
It
It's
is.
a wonderful accomplishment, it really is.
Very proud of them. And we will be able to praise them in public in June when they come to our meeting. With regard to the One Montville Green-In Day, just wanted to comment on this initiative. I affectionately refer to my first meeting with a welcoming party of 200 community residents last July. They were here to express their concern about incidents that had taken place, in particular an anti-Semitic yearbook comment and some other instances of prejudice and bias that had been exhibited. They expressed a desire to improve the situation and to have Montville Township be and be perceived as being an accepting, respectful place. Following that meeting, I developed a plan to create an organization formed around that ideal, and beginning with a small meeting of local clergy members last August, the One Montville initiative took place. It has now grown into a very vibrant organization with 42 voting members. The group adopted bylaws and elected its first board of directors yesterday. It developed a mission statement that reads, "The mission of One Montville is to create and promote a climate of acceptance, inclusion, and kindness, which teaches and celebrates respect for one another by embracing and being enriched by the diversity that comprises the Montville Township community. The mission can only be fully accomplished through the involvement and commitment of community leaders, religious leaders, business leaders, and residents of all ages, races, religions, ethnicities, abilities, gender identity, or sexual orientation." Periodically, we do hear about intolerant behavior or actions, things that appear on social media, and it's disappointing. It does make the mission of One Montville more relevant and more important. On this Friday, May 20th, One Montville will be celebrating its first Green-In Day. We're asking everyone in the community, whether you live or work here, to wear green, to provide a very visible symbolization of the community's commitment to demonstrating acceptance, respect, and kindness. And I hope that everyone will join us in having that sea of green within Montville Township. I think it's something that we all need to see, the commitment of everyone. So I hope everyone will participate. And finally, I just...
Dr. Rothar, if you'll pardon me, I need to mention that, we've talked about it as a board. We wanted to thank you, and I know that you don't say things. You're one of the most humble people I've ever met. But humility aside, we as a board just thank you for your direction with One Montville, what you have done to bring it forward, to give it direction, to allow it to take flight. And I think this whole community will appreciate that group as it sets sail and moves forward from here. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a labor of love. I've enjoyed working with it, and a great group has been assembled. So I'm very proud of that.
A few of us here have had the good fortune to be at some of the, if not all, at some, if not all of the meetings. And I just have to say, I don't think anyone can really appreciate the effort and leadership that Dr. Rothar put into this. She brought together a diverse group of people. She was the motivator, she was the facilitator, meeting after meeting, and the amount of work. I just am really, really impressed. I don't know how to say it any other way. And I'm just so happy to say that we're there. We're at Green-In Day.
We're there.
And there it is, for those people. The true Montville green, the original green, that will be seen on Friday. Okay. So it was an incredible undertaking as you watched it develop. And I know Mr. Rothar and Mr. Brown were there to see this unfold. It was really something to see.
And we're just beginning. The best is yet to come.
Thanks.
I would echo what Mike said. I think that most of it is, and without your leadership, I don't think we'll ever gotten off the ground. And I thank you on behalf of the Montville, citizens of Montville, for everything that you've shown.
wanted to mention is I did provide for the board members this evening a copy of the demographic study that has been completed. Because it's been completed, part of the contract that we have with our demographer is for a public presentation of this information. And unfortunately, he is not available during the month of June. We have scheduled him to make a presentation on September 20th. Our first board meeting in September is the first day of school. I did not feel that that was an optimal time. We certainly didn't want to do that presentation during the summertime because we recognize that people are away. But a lot of this data will form the basis of some work that will have to take place with us looking at the future enrollment, whether we need to make some decisions about redistricting amongst elementary schools, a whole host of discussion items that will come forth from this. But the board does have that information. You can review it. We will have, obviously an opportunity for some questions when we do have that discussion. But I did want to provide that for you and let you know that there will be a fuller discussion of that in September. And that concludes my remarks. As Dr. Kane noted, we do have a number of students who are here this evening to be recognized for a variety of things. The first group of honorees are our 2016 Arbor Day poster winners. So I will announce your names and Dr. Kane will present you some certificates to recognize that accomplishment. So our first place winners, we have, if you could just come down when I call your name, and I apologize if I mispronounce your name. The first person we'd like to honor is A.J. Bakari from Valley View School. A.J. here. We'll make sure that we get his certificate to him. Shunyung Lee from Hilldale School. Claudia Ivankovic from William Mason School.
You all must be studying.
They're studying very hard. And Sarah Zhao from Cedar Hill. We have our second place winners, Isabel Martinez from Valley View School. Sean Amoros from Hilldale School. Nurhan Madian from Woodmont School. And Bailey Stepien from Cedar Hill School. Okay, our third place winners. Allison Hatley from Valley View School.
Great job.
Anvi Terrapanthe from Hilldale School. And Sophia Matari from Woodmont School. Okay, can all of you poster winners come up to the front here, and we will take a lovely group picture of all of you. We now have 4 young ladies that are receiving their Girl Scout Gold Award, and we would like to honor them as well. The first honoree is Olivia Bednach.
So, Olivia, you went from being a daisy to then being a brownie, and a lot of work from then until this point in time. Congratulations to the 4 that are being honored this evening. We have for you a plaque which includes a resolution from the Board of Education, which in particular says, whereas Olivia has completed as her goal award project by fundraising to put together a team to build a 12 by 14 outdoor cat enclosure, which she designed for the Montville Township shelter. The cats can now get out of their cages and get fresh air and exercise while they await adoption. The enclosure includes climbing ramps and structures, 2 cat houses, and a dual entrance gate for safety. The project was recognized by the Animal Planet post-Jackson Galaxy, and she received many requests for her plans. Congratulations and thank you. Please.
Our next honoree is Grace Blazina.
Grace, how many years did it take from when you first started to now?
I started in kindergarten, so I've been doing my whole school career.
Wow. How long did this project take?
I started planning it in the middle of my junior year, so I'm a senior now, so like a year and a half.
About a year and a half. So,
Yeah.
on behalf of the Board of Education, we have a plaque with a resolution which reads, whereas Grace has completed her Gold Award project by developing a free physical fun esteem building soccer camp for the children of Divas Village Shelter. They do not have the opportunity to participate in annual town or privately run camps due to the cost. She put together equipment donations, camp helpers, and designed a program to be made a part of their regular summer daycare program and to be continued each year. Thank you.
Our next honoree is Desiree Amanda Sales.
Congratulations. Now, your resolution on this plaque reads, whereas Desiree Amanda has completed as her Gold Award project by focusing on cyberbullying. She reached out to parents and educators of young children to inform them of the dangers of the online world, especially since bullying can be now be done anonymously online. She created a presentation entitled Behind the Scenes Cyberbullying. It was presented at Kignetic, where parents listened while the children had supervised play. It was also presented to a local group of middle school girls. She uploaded the presentation to YouTube so it could be viewed and shared for many years to come. Thank you. Congratulations.
Our final recipient of the Girl Scout Gold Award this evening is Kelsey Ryan.
Congratulations. So this is the culmination of how many years for you?
Since first grade.
And how long did this project take you?
About 8
So your resolution on this plaque reads, whereas Kelsey has completed her Gold Award project by tending a community garden plot on her own and growing vegetables. She also received donated produce from surrounding gardens. Together, they raised 251 pounds of fresh produce for the Interfaith Food Pantry. She also created a website sharing her story and recipes, incorporating the vegetables she grew, and a step-by-step on how to plant your own garden. Nice job.
Take your plaque back.
It does, while everyone's sitting down, it does go without saying, but very prominently, that behind every award winner is parents who have devoted their time to being good parents and showing their children the right way to grow up. So to the parents, congratulations too, and thank you.
Honoree this evening. We're very proud of this student, Vita Padaram, for winning the New Jersey National Geographic State B, and we're sending him off later on this week to compete at the national level. We are incredibly proud. So I would ask Mrs. Carr if you want to come down and join Dr. Kane to present the certificate.
Just the only thing I really want to say is that Dana has certainly made Lazar proud. And we all have a good feeling that he is going to do it in Washington, D.C. And he has my cell phone number, my home number. He's going to call me immediately. You will all know within seconds. Right?
On behalf of the Board of Education, we've heard about your accomplishment for a couple of months. We've all been waiting to meet you and learn who the individual was from our district who accomplished something that no one else has been able to do for quite some time. Congratulations and good luck in the Nationals. Capital of Kansas. Okay, thank you.
I was just whispering to Dr. Kane, he knows countries that I don't even know
Mike, what question did you ask me? Mike. Mr. O'Brien, what question did you ask me?
I thought I had, I really did. So I said, the trick question, I said, I'm leaving in the morning to go to our fourth largest state. And he nailed it right away. What's the answer?
Good luck in nationals.
Good luck. We'll be rooting for you back home.
Good luck.
Moving right along, Mr. King, the business administrative report? No report. Any committee reports?
Actually, no, we met curriculum just a couple of days ago, actually, and unfortunately I forgot the notes, so if I can defer the report till next time.
We'll look forward to it next time.
Would you mind if I ask the question about minutes? In the minutes, it said that for the next school year, you would look to see if declining enrollment will begin to have an impact on the number of courses and sections. Which is great, but when you look at the courses, you're not thinking about, or maybe you are, reducing the types of courses or the choices for students? Or you don't know?
We don't know.
I hope it's not choice.
I don't know if that's our intention, to take away choices, just to look at the overall thing and to see if there's anything.
People might really want to call me. Wonderful time.
Actually, without my notes, I'll add that we did have the discussion about some courses that were, below the, board recommended guidelines number-wise, and I think the administration has gone out and it's really try to preserve those classes in the interest of maintaining the educational opportunities for our students and not just going by the numbers. And for that, they should be commended.
Any other committee reports or questions? Mr. O'Brien?
Can I say once again, you never come out of the curriculum committee meeting without having a great feeling about the things that we are doing, okay? I mean, that sort of rubber hits the road. And it just, I know I say that over and over, but you come out of there with a positive outlook on the things that we are doing for our young people in our town.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to hear. Delegate liaisons. I do have a report. I was fortunate enough this past Saturday, with the exception of my cell phone being knocked off the table and broken, to go to the New Jersey Delegate Assembly, and it was my first. I know you've been there many times, Dr. Cordellino, and it was a really, really fascinating event. First, Dr. Feinstein, who was the executive director of the NJSBA, spoke. And he's really, for those that have heard him speak, he's a man with incredible vision, really placing New Jersey school boards on the map. There are a couple of events coming up. I brought back a couple of brochures, Legislative Day, June 2nd, and a Safety School Security meeting on June 3rd. Both are large organized events, and that's going to have Department of Homeland Security officials. County attendance, he said, is up 70%. Thank you, Dr. Cordellino, for your work. Well, 70% all over the state. And there were 6 resolutions that were discussed. I won't go through all of them, but they were, in some cases, very bitterly fought over. One of them proposed additional policy language supporting the provision of multiple pathways to high school diploma, basically saying part test should not be the only thing that is used for high school graduation. And that particular resolution passed very handily. Graduation age was left at 16. Districts accepting New Jersey school choice program will be able to accept paying tuition students if they have the room. They previously had been blocked from that. There was an amendment to diminish, to stop the board from having to pay excise taxes, like the Cadillac tax on health insurance. There's an amendment, a resolution for the state to fully fund the state's pension funds and safeguard Board of Education from having to pay anything with respect to pension. And these are the kind of things that are then taken and brought to the assembly and hopefully enacted in law in some way. There was also, with that first resolution, and we can talk about it some other time, there, Highland Park Public Schools and 9 other school districts passed a resolution, which anybody that would like to see can see. And the resolution was about that first, I'm sorry, this resolution was the first resolution that I had discussed, which is to disallow park from being the only thing that's used as a graduation requirement. So we can, I can pass this around, board members can take a look at it, and we can consider whether or not we as a board would like to consider that as a resolution. Any PTC liaisons?
Just to mention that Morris County is having their meeting on Thursday, and it's the end of year celebratory meeting. We'll be celebrating Morris schools and also honoring milestone and certificated board members. Charlie's being honored for his 20 years of service to public school. So any and all are invited. Just register or register to register. It starts at 6:30 with a meal at the Village in Mount Lakes.
And we have congratulated you previously, Charlie. That was easy for me to say. We have congratulated you previously, but
We can't go just in money.
it's a wonderful thing to have been doing this for 20 years. Congratulations.
With regard to DAC, I did attend the meeting last week, and there's been additional fundraising toward project graduation. There actually was a pancake breakfast even last week at St. Pius. Just as a point of interest, I guess there have been some rumors floating around that suggest that maybe to shorten the length of project graduation. Right now, I don't believe that's going to be the recommendation, of the committee. I think the goal of the committee is to keep it such that we want to keep our children as safe as possible throughout the evening, and not to let out early that they go then somewhere else for the after party. That's not the intention. We want to keep all children safe, and there's enough to do there that, believe me, if anyone who hasn't been there, you're not going to be bored in the 5 or 6 hours you're there. There's plenty to do. There's plenty of food. There's plenty of activities. It's a great activity, and I would encourage any board member who wants to come, and of course Dr. Rotar also, and anyone else from the administration to come and witness it. It's just a great time. It's the last time a lot of these kids will just be together as a class. It's just a great send-off.
Mike, do they have any sense at this point how reservations for that event are as compared to past years?
Yeah, it's hard to say because there's always a lot of last minute, people jumping in.
Right. Thanks.
And Matt, to quickly piggyback off of Project Graduation fundraising, I did just receive the flyer the other day for the High School Zone School of Rock. They'll be hosting, once again, a benefit summer concert out at the amphitheater on Saturday, June 11th, starting at 3 p.m. All proceeds going to Project Graduation.
Right, this is not the first time we've done this. They've been very supportive of that.
Thank you. Any other PTC liaisons? Any additional reports? Public participation for items on the agenda. Seeing as there is none, I'd like to ask for a motion.
Second.
And that would be for items I through O with the exclusion of item J3.
Do you have a formal motion to table that or not?
I'm just withdrawing it from here.
Okay.
All right, item I, minutes. Any comments or questions? J, comments, questions? Okay. Item L, personnel. Item M, L.
Yeah, it's sort of a semi-informed Renee about this topic, just to be clear for everyone in the public. Each of our schools, I guess, has an individual character of its own, and some may have a club that the other school doesn't. may have at a given time. Correct, Councilor O'Connor?
That is correct.
So, if having a club, let's say they have a chess club here, but a garden club there, is based on student interests, or is it, how exactly does that work?
Student interest, the prior existence of such an organization within the school. We do have a board policy that sets forth the means of creating and having the board officially recognize new clubs.
Okay, but if it's not necessarily new, like it's a chess club in one school, and it doesn't sort of pave the way for the other school having a chess club if they have.
It may just simply be a matter of there not being sufficient interest in that particular activity in the
So they could all have it if they so have, if they have in the budget, right?
Well, within the budget and within their, there are certain stipends that are stipulated in the contract.
So they have to give like a year's ahead planning to do that.
There's a progression,
Yeah.
yes.
Do any of the elementary schools get to fund a club through the PTCs or PTAs?
I don't know that I would categorize them as clubs, but there are certain activities, I think TREPS is an example of that are run through the PTA. So, I don't know that I would call them clubs. Like, it's similar to a club, but it's a little bit of a different means of providing and funding that activity.
Any other questions on L, M, N, or O? Roll call, please, to speak.
Mr. Graham?
Yes.
Mr. Morello?
Yes. Oh, stay on mine, I'm sorry.
Staying on aye. Dr. Cordino?
Yes, except abstain on check numbers 82243 and 82113.
Good. Mr. Johnson?
Yes.
Dr. Modrak?
Yes.
Mr. O'Brien?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
And Dr. King?
Yes.
Motion's passed.
Any old business? General board comments, new business?
Matt, I just wanted to say I went to the Hilldale Trips and I spent a lot of money. So thank you, Hilldale Trips.
Those entrepreneurs got to you, huh?
I bought this, I don't know if I should say it or not, but I bought the most adorable thing. It was a sock filled with rice that had been infused with like essential oils, and you can heat it up in the microwave and then use it as a pillow head. It was great, so I had a good time there. I also wanted to ask the board, and as well as really Dr. Rothar, I saw that we are having 4th of July celebrations this year, and we are bringing back the beloved parade. We haven't had it in a few years, and I think it's been missed, so this year's 4th of July committee is bringing it back. So the board usually participates, Board of Education usually walks. So I was just wondering if you could get some details on that, I'm sure they're planning to invite us.
You know the date?
I think it's
July
July
2nd.
2nd.
It's Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, July.
I will get some. I actually reached out to Mr. Mafucci, who is chairing that today, to ask if Montville could be a part of the celebration. He graciously invited us to do that, so I will reach out to him.
We'll walk one behind the other, and you can run the I just want to also mention, if the board hasn't had a chance, the New Jersey School Boards has put out basically a white paper on unfunded and underfunded state and federal mandates. I printed it out. It's 20 pages or so. It's really wonderful, and I'm going to be asking on Thursday at the Morris County School Board's meeting if they at least have sent an e-copy of this to the entire legislature. They need to read this. So if you get a chance, it's on the website.
It's on the website. Do you have any idea what section that is, Karen?
Yes, I can send you a
That would
link.
be great. That would be great. With the amount of unfunded mandates, it's surprising it's not more pages than that even.
Yeah, well, they don't, you know, it's, you'll see when you read it, I would say.
9-point font.
Dr. Corlino said the magic word for me is celebration, 4th of July. And I just have a general question, maybe, you know, I don't need an answer, but I know that the town, I've heard the task force has been formed to celebrate the 150th anniversary next year, and they've been going to various groups, representatives speaking and so on. Do we intend to be involved in that in the schools somehow? Are there any plans? Do we have a representative to the task force or anything?
I don't know that we have a representative to the task force, but Deb Nielsen had come to meet with me, she had come to meet with the President's Council, and everyone is on board in terms of involvement and support. I don't know what their meeting schedule is, so
Yeah,
if I can, I'll find that out and see if we can get ourselves.
I'm wondering if
more.
any curriculum-wise, are there any things that might sort of kick in, either from a historical or agricultural, whatever point of view, because it is that anniversary? Just curious.
Right. Well, we would hope to be able to emphasize a little bit more at, you know, in those areas where the students do study community history, to certainly emphasize the anniversary.
Okay, I just wondering.
Any other comments, Mike?
Yeah, I did attend an Eagle Scout ceremony this weekend for the board. You have 3 more young men, which I believe brings us to 19 total this year, 12 in this year's senior class, and combine that with the Gold Scouts or the girls. I guess we had 4 tonight from this class. I'm not sure if there are any of the senior girls who, I got one earlier, but that's, you know, at least 16 kids in this class, between boys and girls, have gotten either Eagle Scout or Gold Awards. It's just, it's almost a freakishly high number. I mean, so many years we've had 1 or 2, some years none, and now we're just getting these almost every month. It's just a great thing. I think it goes to the character of the students overall. These are high achievers who have a great, you know, feeling of pride and community and giving to others. So it's a group to very much be proud of.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for representing the board, too. Yes, go.
Yeah. I attended the, not new board member orientation, but the ones you have to go to the first year of your new term up at Mountain Lakes High School. And even though I've been on board for a few years, I found the governance for 2-hour seminar very, very enlightening. I asked the administration if they could get the booklets from governance for, because I think all of us could gain something from reading it. I think it was very informational, a lot of new decisions regarding negotiations, who can be on the team, who can't, conflict. So if the administration could follow through and see if we
I
get
have
some.
asked Charlene Peterson to get that information.
Oh,
She's
great.
working on it.
I think you read it over, it's very nice. We had a nice turnout, a lot of older board members and experience, and all of them thought it was very well put on by 2 gentlemen from school boards, the name escaped me. But they really do their stuff. That's all.
Thank you. I would like to open the floor for our second public participation at this point. Seeing as there is none, we are going to...
So we may take her.
Sorry.
Did you want to say something, Raymond?
Please come on up to the microphone. And state your name.
Stephen Pandice, and my question for the Board of Ed, what would be the benefit for implementing other tests, like besides the part, like other standardized testing?
Besides the park?
Like implementing like more, like what would be the benefit of this?
The concept that I heard, do you want to answer this, Eric?
I know the position of the New Jersey School Boards is to provide greater options so that it's not specifically one particular test, such as PARC. Right now, we do have some options. Students can satisfy that testing requirement through achieving a particular score on the ACT or the SAT. So there are some options at the moment. What has been proposed to the state board will change that a little bit to make PARCC a requirement, that students must take that specific test in order to graduate. In terms of the district actually choosing other tests, we do have, the legislature has also put in some limits in terms of the amount of time that's devoted to testing. So they really don't want to see us administer too many additional tests. So it's something that's before the state board at the moment. They're looking at that graduation requirement test piece, and I believe we'll be making a decision on that within the next month or so.
And actually, direct from the delegate assembly, I found my notes, and the concept was not necessarily, with respect to the delegates of the New Jersey school boards, was not necessarily to bring about more standardized testing. The concept was to develop multiple pathways, because there are some students, for example, ESL students, that might have trouble with the PARCC test. Perhaps special needs students might have trouble taking standardized tests. But they're not the only ones. Other individuals just don't do well on standardized tests. So to make PARCC the only test that's used, according to the New Jersey School Board's delegates that were in attendance, the majority felt that this resolution should move forward.
Might I ask, Mr. President?
It's a good question you asked. Thank you.
Thank you.
Was portfolio assessment a topic that came up?
It was not at this particular meeting. Thank you. That was a very good question. Any other public participation? All right, now, we are going to...
I'm sorry, Dr. Kamen, I forgot to ask. Did the township show any interest in that COPS grant for the SRO?
They thanked us for the information and indicated that I believe that they were looking into it, but I haven't heard anything more from them. They were very grateful for you sharing the information. They specifically mentioned you. They were thankful for that.
Thank you.
We are going to move back to a second closed session. No action is anticipated, and we're expecting that the closed session will last up to 30 minutes. What are we going to discuss?
We have a couple of personnel matters to discuss.
Personal items.
Personnel items,
Okay, get some line.
just a couple.
So move.
Second.